right. What got you interested in coaching?
In your coaching, yeah.
Yeah, just coaching in general, sure.
I mean, I guess I just saw your content, and I'm a fan of London,
Mm-hmm.
Spitfire, so
Yeah, nice.
I just thought your coaching would be the best way to go.
Okay, sounds good. I appreciate it. And break me down your history in Overwatch. When did you start playing? What ranks have you hit? All that stuff.
Yeah.
You cut out for a second.
Eh,
So, wait, say something?
Hello?
Hey, okay, there you go.
Right, so I started playing on console in like maybe 2018, 19,
Okay.
and I went to PC and rolled Q beta,
Mm-hmm.
and that's pretty much it. I hit in Overwatch 1, I hit 4.4 on Hog, and Overwatch 2, I'm just GM1.
Okay, sounds good. Getting your code pulled up here as we're speaking. Okay. And you're DPS now, yes?
Yeah.
So what caused that transition for you?
Well, I mean, I was a DBS player, and just in like the Hog Sigma,
Ah,
I was transitioning to Hog. Yeah,
okay. What was it about Hog that appealed to you? Just fun to hit the hooks or what?
I mean, yeah, and he was just broken at the time, and I just was good at Hog.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. Okay, makes sense. Makes sense. Okay, let's keep rolling through here. So, what do you hope to get out of the session? And you say improve my understanding on certain characters. Elaborate on that one just a little bit for me.
Because in this moment in time on DBS, I'm only really like good like in like maybe two or three characters.
Mm-hmm.
I have a very like limited hero pool,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and I just want to learn more characters. I think it'd be beneficial.
Okay. Okay. Sounds good. Sounds good. Okay. And then you have for me a sim code, and then also looks like an echo
Yeah, I mean,
bot as
it just
well.
depends which one you want. One's ranked and one's from Overwatch World Cup.
Okay. Okay. Sounds good. Yeah. Well, we can talk about it. Okay. Let's keep going through the code here. So, goals for Overwatch to be able to play, compete at a high level. Elaborate on that one. Like, what's a high level for you? What's the goal?
Well, I mean, I'm already like GM1 right now,
Right.
so I just want to be able to like compete in competitions.
Okay.
I'm going to the in the UK, Insomnia. I don't know if you know what that is.
Mm-hmm. I'm aware of it.
It's like a LAN event, yeah,
Okay.
in like
Cool.
a couple of months, and I just want to get better for them.
Okay. Okay. Sounds good. Do you play with the team currently? I see the World Cup thing, so I assume yes.
I mean, I play with it like I don't have like a like a solid team. I just play whenever I like kind of feel like I'm not like active like that. You know what I mean?
Right. Interesting. Okay. That might be something that kind of move forward to next, because if you want to get more and more serious with competition, all these competitions are going to have aspects of team play
Yeah.
inside of them, and you're going to need to get comfortable with that. Obviously, your hero pool is a strange one. You're definitely like the flex DPS projectile specialist with a
Hmm.
few niche picks, but there are a lot of teams that can do well with that. I'm sure you've heard of. Crap, what's the UK one trick team with Meta One, the Symmetra Roadhog?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
I,
Warwick Angels, I
Warwick,
think.
Warwick, yeah, Warwick. So I mean, obviously they make do with what they get. So it's essentially something that you can kind of, just because your hero pool is a little bit strange, or it doesn't mean that you can't find a team that you shouldn't be training with. So
Yeah.
ranked is ranked, and ranked is good, and there's lots of things that we can practice in ranked. But for like the team play aspect, being able to actually compete, maybe not out, but just being able to compete,
Yeah.
you need to be able to lean into this here. And I would start that sooner rather than later if you can. Just
Yeah.
get in the habit of it. Okay, so I guess piggybacking off of that, what does your training schedule look like right now? How often are
Like
you training? How much do you play ranked? How often, and so on?
it can range. Some days it can be 5. Some days it can be 30 minutes.
Okay, okay. How does it usually look then? Is it like a couple days 30, a couple days 5? Take a day off.
I would say on average it's about uh 1 a day, 1 hour.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's probably the average.
Okay, the average is about an hour per day, and that's so you're playing about 7 hours a week.
I would say probably it's about 10, but it just ranges really.
Got it. Okay, around 10 hours per week. Well, you got the GM1 off of this, so
Yeah.
clearly you already have the skill here. But I guess for you, do you want to get better with the same amount of time that you're putting in? Do you want to move to another tier of skill? Like are you top 500?
Yeah, last season I hit top 20.
Okay. So how many hours are you putting in last season? The same amount of hours now?
I played about 100 games last season.
Okay. It's not a lot of games to hit top 500. Maybe you're just a freak of nature. Why do you think that is? Because you're putting in
What?
not a lot of time.
I didn't finish top 20. I peaked top 20.
Ah, okay. So you just kind of rolled into it.
Yeah, I got top 20 and then didn't really play much after that.
Okay. I would definitely start with putting priority on finding a team to train with, if you can.
Yeah. I do have one, like, but I haven't like started yet.
Okay. When do you start?
I don't know, just whenever,
Okay.
I guess.
Okay. How often do you guys have any idea how often you guys will scrimmage?
Maybe like 2 to 3 times a week.
Okay, that's not bad. We can work with that. Yeah, I don't know. Like you're playing like on the very very low end. You're already GM1. You hit top 20, but you're not really competing. So I can definitely question how well you'll be able to keep your top 20 skills with how much you're playing, because you're not playing a lot, right? But I mean, obviously you got there, so I don't know. If you really want to push yourself to the next level, have you heard me talk a little bit about deliberate practice?
No.
Okay. It's just basically about finding, like, whenever you are engaged, especially for somebody like you who's not playing a lot, when you are playing those games, that you're completely focused and completely turned on what you need to be practicing, right? So just if you aren't going to be able to play a lot, or if you're not going to play a lot, just make sure that when you are playing, that you're actually giving it full focus, full effort, full energy, right? And that's really, really important. Yeah, I don't know, mate. You're a little bit of an anomaly. You don't play much, and yet somehow you're still GM1, top 20 peak last season. I guess just for me, it's like if you're really serious about competing and getting better at the game, why are you playing it so little? You know, why aren't you putting more energy into finding a team to compete with?
I mean, it's like just generally like other commitments. You know what I mean?
Sure, I got it. Okay. So I guess being the best with the time that you have available to commit to it. Okay. Is this more of just like a hobby, something you do for fun?
I mean, probably, yeah, because I don't think I can go like insanely far.
Sure. Okay, makes sense. Fair enough. Well, then let's just make what the time that you have as efficient as we can. You know, be as focused as you can when you are playing ranked or scrims.
Yeah.
Try and find a team. I said you're with one now, but like you want to be scrimmaging more than not, because if that's what you enjoy is the competing and things like that, then that's going to be the best outlet for that period, better than ranked. So try and sort that out as soon as you can. Okay. Hero pool is definitely expansive. So for somebody who's not playing a lot, you're going to have a hard time probably playing all 4 of the heroes you put in your form, which is Sim, Mei, Echo, Genji. Do you specialize in any 2 of those heroes?
Well, on ranked, I kind of only play like Sim, and like if I need, I'll change like Mei.
Okay. What is it about the Sim that appeals to you?
She's just really easy to get value with, really.
Okay. I mean, her ult's broken for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, makes sense. Okay, and then this World Cup VOD that you sent me, you're playing Echo.
That's just an Echo game.
Okay.
On Dorado.
Okay. Is that a hero that you want to get better at? Like, I'm trying to find out, like, what are your priorities?
Yeah. I want to get better on like Echo, Reaper, maybe.
Okay. So if we were to look at footage today, which one would you prioritize? So what you need to do better on Sim, or what you need to be doing better on Echo? We could do maybe a little bit of both, but
I mean, yeah, it's up to you. Just because the Echo one's only first person, and the other one's like a code. So
sure. Okay. Let's keep going then. Okay, sleep is definitely a little bit on the lower end, 6 to 8. I mean, 6 isn't bad, but 7 is better. So 7 to 8 would be preferred, especially for somebody who's playing at such a high level. Okay. And then what do you hope to get out of the session? Improve your understanding of certain characters. Okay. And then the last question here, really, really important. What do you feel is holding you back from improving? And you say understanding plus ability usage. Elaborate on that one, please.
Well, I mean, just my understanding of the game in general, you know what I mean? And just like how to work with a team.
Sure. Okay, we can talk with that. Some of the things that you could do in ranked will also help with that as well. Like, you can be a good teammate in ranked, and I don't necessarily mean like, you know, being a shot caller or calling in voice at all, because we all know how that generally goes. But I mean, like, just simply being more aware of like your teammates' actions. I mean, a lot of my coaching sessions recently have been more aware of what your team is doing and trying to complement them. So that's a skill we can work on. And then also, like we said, just getting into that scrimmage environment so that we can actually start playing in a team as soon as we possibly can. You know what I'm saying? That has to be a priority for you. Do you have any? Are you aware of like? Okay, you're in, I guess, a team now, but I would try and push that to get started sooner rather than later. And then ability usage. What do you mean by ability usage? Are there a few abilities that you struggle with in particular in Echo or Symmetra?
And that was more of when I was playing Reaper, but I just don't have a Reaper VOD.
Okay. Sounds good. Okay. Any other questions? Because we can just hop into gameplay if you'd like.
No, if you're happy, I'm happy.
Okay, let's do this. Which one do you want to start with? Echo or Sim?
I guess we can just start with a Sim one, honestly.
Okay, sounds good. I'm gonna get this started then. So this is gonna be top 500 Symmetra. And then, so you're going to be the first Symmetra I've coached in a while. This will be fun.
Yeah.
So let's start with this. What is Symmetra good at? What is the hero's strength? So you said she's really easy to get value out of. What does value look like as Symmetra?
Honestly, I couldn't really tell you. I
Sure.
kind of just autopilot and just beam.
Yeah, okay. You seem a very instinctual player, and I think that's why you put understanding in your things.
Yeah, I don't really put much thought in it and anything. Like, I just boot up ranked and just play.
Sure. I mean, and that's fine too. Like, I think what we just need to find is like, what aspect of your instincts do we need to kind of tighten up a little bit, you know? I think it's good to be an instinctual player. You don't want to be a thoughtful player too much because it slows you down, right? So let's take a look here. So for me, what Symmetra is good at, as simply, and this is like really, really stupid, but she's just a good close range hero, right? But the difference between like, say you and, I don't know, a Junkrat, right, is your ability to close the distance and then disengage safely is significantly better, right? I don't know if you've watched a lot of people like Meta One, and I'm sure you do a lot of this yourself.
Yeah, I know Meta One.
Right. So it's a lot of in and out, right? In and out, right? It's almost a little bit like a Reaper playstyle, but I actually think you're a lot better than Reaper at that because it's TP is just a little bit more consistent than his TP, as long as it doesn't get broken. So, you know, whether it's TP bombs, right-click flanks, all that kind of foolishness. And then the other thing that you have going for you as well is you have like pretty consistent mid-range spam, which you can use against certain comps. So like your right-click obviously does like pretty decent damage and it moves really fast. So, and you have one of the best DPS ults in the game, period, as well. So, yeah, let's just see if we're leveraging our ability to, I guess, flank, take angles, put pressure, get on backline, distract, assassinate, you know, and then if you have the opportunity to, beaming down frontline is also okay as well. So let's see. This is a fun Junker Queen Sim Bastion pro meta right here. People are always asking me like, how do you one trick in this game? And it's just simply like knowing your heroes so well that you just do stuff without even thinking, and you know all these matchups and all these tricks, right? One tricking in this game is actually probably the easiest way to climb. There's the clearing. Good. That turret, I assume, is for expecting Genji to engage on you. Probably not likely, considering his composition and your team. Not a big mistake, but probably not something that's going to happen. Also, doesn't dash destroy turret as well if it hits?
It does.
Right.
Yeah.
So maybe not the best use of turret. Yep, this is exactly what Sim does. So, I mean, the reason why I don't want to overanalyze this, but I think this might be helpful for somebody watching this VOD afterwards. Why do you TP up top?
It's mainly, I mean, it's harder than for them to hit me. I get cover as well from
Right. Right, right. Because if you TP'd here, your turrets would immediately start hitting the Hanzo. That's a huge benefit. But it would be easier to break your TP, and like you said, you don't have cover. And actually, if you see here, when you TP up top, you're safe. And by the time they push you, your TP is basically broken. Well, actually, I was gonna say probably would have been better for you to TP out just to play it safe, considering that you're already up 2. But regardless, if this Hanzo hits a shot on you, body shot, you can just drop. You can jump off the high ground, and there's your cover again, right? And then if he pushes you, he walks into your turret range. So this is good. I like this. I think the only thing, like I said, is probably would have been smart to TP out there, but okay. Yeah, you got rolled. Okay. Honestly, just a mistake there, not a big deal. Okay. So just use it, you know? I'm kind of surprised we're not using our ultimate here. I'm not sure if you feel like the fight's won, but like, I look at, like your ultimate's very strong, but this fight is not won. You know what I'm saying? Would you just not want to just split right down the middle, right, immediately? Because if you use your Symmetra ult here, this fight's it's over. You've won it. You kind of see what I'm saying? I don't know. What do you think? You there? I can't hear you if you're talking. Uh-oh. We had a DC. Hey, can you hear me? I can't hear you if you're talking. If you can't, if you're mic, oh, I heard something.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can. Can you hear me?
Okay. But
all right. Did you hear what I was asking you there?
no, sorry.
Okay, no worries. So when did I lose you?
Probably it's like around the start of the payload, honestly.
Okay, so right about here?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Okay.
Sorry.
That's alright, no worries. So I was asking you here, why the hesitation to use your ultimate? Because right here, we're even, right? You use your ult here, it's over, right? It's immediately over. So what's the hesitation here? Because if we play it out a little bit...
I'm honestly not quite sure. I think it's just because we've already got the pick, and I feel like we're going to win the fight anyway.
Sure. Did you look at the Rhine and just assume that he was dead?
Yeah, the Rhine's low.
Sure.
And like,
fair enough.
we've already used Paul.
Sure. Well, the reason I asked is because your Moira was the one who got hit. So your Cole was a little good, but okay, yeah, sure. Nice. Nice. So I'm assuming at this point, at some point in time, we're probably going to be setting up for a way to take Kaigon and pressure out Hanzo. Let's see. Yeah. So you're just going to straight up fight for it. So I guess here's my question here. What's the problem with the Symmetra wall?
Well, I mean, once they back up, it's kind of a bad wall.
Right, right. Now, the funny thing is it splits them, right? Which is exactly what you want to do with the wall, right? But the problem is the way the battle is going, it's very easy for them to shift where the fight is happening. They can just disengage by just a couple of meters, and all of a sudden the wall doesn't do anything. So what I prefer you to do is sim wall. Is either you're playing in like Koth, right, where the fight, like let's say you're playing on like Legion Control Center, where the fight happens in pretty much one spot, and they can't really kite it out. Once they've committed, they can't kite out, right? It's over. All right, so then you can use it easily there. The other option is, I know this is a little bit tricky at this point in time, but I don't want you actually setting tempo with Symmetra wall. I actually want you responding to once they've committed in a fight location, that's when you use your Symmetra wall. Because once they've committed, then they have to disengage, and it's too ugly for them to disengage. So let's actually play this out, and let's find a good time to use our sim wall. So beam, 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 beam. We clear space. Okay. Let's just say all this was happening just normally, right? We don't find a use for sim wall. Unlucky. Go next fight. Let's keep watching. Because I promise you, pretty quickly here, there's going to be an opportunity to use sim wall. Charging beam. Or maybe you're just going to die. See, my point is ruined. This is disastrous. Yeah. It's okay, you're only 20%. You would have it for this fight, surely. Oh dear, this is disastrous. I mean, yeah. I don't think he even knew he was there. Or what.
I watched that replay. He did not know I was there.
That's unfortunate.
It was a complete luck.
Okay, well, we're going to keep going. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. One day, my spiel recently is that Bastion players do not know how to use their ultimate, and this is it right here. Ah, jeez. I don't understand how people don't know how to use this ultimate. Anyway, okay, let's keep going. Let's wait. The second they commit, we use it. Sim wall. Like, as soon if he commits his pin there, we can sim wall right down the middle here and chase this guy down. Do you see? Because he can no longer disengage. He's already used his mobility cooldown. The fight has officially started. He's cooked, right? Just by simply using just that one cooldown, he's committed. A Winston uses jump, a Genji dashes in, you sim wall, they're no longer in a position to disengage. And even if you just get that one pick, then that's good enough. Now, I'd like to focus on something other than sim wall for a second. We'll have more opportunities to talk about it later. Okay, charging beam, all good. Good. So this is where we just have to be very careful. What's the mistake here?
Well, I'm playing very aggressive to try and kill a Kiriko, and the Rein's just swinging at me.
Right. So we walk through the Reinhardt to access the Kiriko. Okay. This is why, like, I mean, I understand why you're doing this. You know, it makes total sense to me, right? The Kiriko is the squishy. You want to kill the squishy, right? And we're also using beat, so it feels like we should be safe. But this is the problem, right? If your TP isn't set up and available, and you can't go in and out, once you're here, you're cooked, right? A Reaper can Wraith this, you have your TP. If you don't have your TP 8 when you're in, and that's basically it. So we need to be really careful about this. I'm trying to find patterns with our gameplay right now, but I'm not finding anything right now. So I just want to keep watching if that's okay with you.
Yeah.
I think, you know, the ultimate was not good. A couple of silly deaths to Hanzo and to Genji. Kind of walking through a Reinhardt even now. Okay, we're backing off. Okay. But I'm not seeing like a consistent pattern. Now this is another opportunity to talk about ultimate. So let's actually see. Are we going to use our ultimate in a situation when they've actually committed? Nice. Oh, he's going to shoot you. Yeah, this is not it. This isn't it. This is the same thing as your Bastion ult from your Bastion previously, where I was really frustrated about it. Like, but at least with Bastion, he has the excuse of like, I don't know if I'm going to get the chance to set up without the Genji assassinating me, right? So like, it's just too easy to disengage. So let's actually find the point in time when you would use it. Knowing what you know now, when would you use it? Mm-hmm. Let's see. We TP in. This is a habit you really need to be careful about. So right, this is a micro thing, but you should never do this. This isn't it. You see? Way too long. And you should be utilizing this TP. You know what I'm saying? Not throwing turrets through it. The turrets should already be set up. If you don't have turrets set up, throw one turret and go with it, right? This animation takes way too long, and look at what happens with the turrets, right? Right? He's already disengaged. They're not doing anything. You know what I'm saying? So it would have been much better for you to just throw one turret and then you go through it, and then you just beam, right? And then you still have turrets to set up afterwards. If the TP is already set up, then they're either going to do one of two things. They're going to walk away from your turrets and they're wasted, or they're going to break the TP in the turrets instead of you actually being there defending them and actually threatening them back. Do you see what I'm saying? So you either need to have one turret through, or you go through with it at the same time. This takes too long of a setup. And then, yeah. I'm also curious why you didn't take the TP either.
Yeah, I thought I was going to die at the Rhine, honestly, I think.
But look at your HP. You're 168. Okay, maybe. I mean, you're 160 HP. I mean, and you're already walking towards the Rhine and then eat the fire strike, right? Do you see that?
Yeah.
You have enough HP to take a swing, right? And you don't even know if he's there. TP, beam, he swings. You TP back out. Then we can walk forward afterwards. Right? Surely that's the best way to maximize the pressure. Yeah, this is just not very good. I think there's a lot of little micro errors here. They just seem like a little bit of a lack of focus. You know, the turret thing was not good. The ult thing was not good. And a lot of deaths have been kind of silly. Let's keep watching here. And like even here, like, surely this isn't the best place for turret, right?
Yeah.
Where would you turret?
Probably like behind like the Mercy on the blue thing.
Yeah, exactly. That was exactly what I was thinking. Right here, right? Throw it right here. There's Genji. You control the space here, right? Just throw a little bit. Now they might break it, yeah, but it actually it's helpful. It denies the high ground. This is too easy to break for them. This is too easy to break, and it doesn't. Like, here's the thing: is like you want turrets to either complement your beam in a location where it's hard for them to break, or you want turrets to control space that you cannot reach with your beam. In other words, I can't reach this far with my beam, so I'm going to throw a turret here to make sure that they don't go there, right? Then if they walk away from the beam of the turret, they walk into my beam, right? Same reason why you could throw a turret over here, right? Up above the wall. Would Rhine break it? Probably, but it would provide an area of pressure that you cannot reach with your beam, right? That's the whole point. But here, too easy to break. Now, the only reason why you would throw a turret at your feet, as we saw earlier, right, is why?
Maybe if you think you're going to get dove or...
Sure. It's a 1v1, right?
Yeah.
It's a 1v1. It's right, exactly. But there's just no reason why you would expect that here. You see?
Mm-hmm.
Good. Another situation here where just throw a turret on the sign, you know? Surely you can do that, right? Just quickly. Yeah. Probably worth it to slow in the beam change. And you're also greeting, I think, a little bit as well. So, like, right here, you see the Mercy Beam, you hear the res, you haven't finished the Genji. As soon as he gets Mercy Beam here, what should be the plan? Like, literally right now, what should you do?
Back up.
Yes, you're out. And let me tell you. And there it is, right? It's still there.
Mm-hmm.
You've done your job. You forced Genji back. You unfortunately didn't cancel the res. You're baiting 2 people's attention right now, soon to be 3. Go back, peel off this Reinhardt. Now, this TP might not be safe, but it's got to be safer than where you're at right now. And you're dead. Right? There it is.
Mm-hmm.
Just a little bit of overextension. Let's keep watching. Because you have to think like a Tracer, right? Like a Tracer goes in, distracts 3 people, gets her recall force, she's low HP. She doesn't go, I have to get the kill. She's done her job. She's baited enough resources with that distraction at a good time for her team to be able to kill the Reinhardt. Like, that Reinhardt was in really serious trouble. You've done your job. Well done. Get out. Don't die for it. All right. Another circumstance here, we could be setting up a TP bomb. So 1, 2, 3, teleporter right here, right? And then you can take it with the turrets, put pressure on backline. You've got 3 turrets, which will discourage people from engaging on you. And then you go from there. The other alternative is what? What else could you do from here?
Just beam the Rhine, maybe? I don't know.
Just beam the Rhine, sure, exactly. You could also just beam the Rhine. You might be thinking they might be going in with, like, Shatter. So you throw, like, 1 turret up here, maybe a turret up here, right? Playing more defensively. and then just beam the Rhine and try to wait for them to engage on you, and you've got turrets pre-set up during the engage. So that's like that's the dichotomy of Symmetra. You're either engaging as a flanker and going in aggressively, or you're playing steady, careful, slow front line and setting up your turrets to discourage them from pushing into you. Now look at the situation right now. Which do you think that they're going to do?
Well, it looks like they're playing pretty aggressive.
It does, and it makes sense as well. Look at the ultimates. Now,
Yeah.
I'm not expecting you to go big brain ult track here, right? Especially as an instinctual player, but something to consider, right? Whereas your team, we might have matching Kiriko ult. So really, for me, I wouldn't be mad with either one, but both seem very reasonable for me. Let's see what we do. We just beam Rhine, okay? You can kind of see where your turrets would have been useful here, right?
Yeah.
And also, the funny thing is if you are playing defensively, so just focusing on beaming shield, how do you want to position around that?
I mean, I feel like I need to play in like the maximum beam range, or maybe just on the right corner there.
Yes, that's it. It's just a micro adjustment. I just want you a little bit further this way. You're still going to get shattered, correct? Unless your reaction speed is great.
Yeah.
But do you see who can no longer see you?
Yeah, the Hanzo.
The Hanzo. And actually, it's also harder for the Genji as well. So a little bit better with the cover usage. A few turrets here, and we're good to go. Or do what I said earlier. Triple turret here. TP. Start shooting back here. 1, 2, 3. I'm feeling hot. I get out. And that creates space for your team as well. You have options. Okay. We might survive. We do. Careful. Yeah, see, and this is again the greed, where you're just a little bit too anxious. What should you have done at this point in time right now? Because you could already... Go ahead.
I mean, I think... Oh, okay, my HP is 60, but if it was a bit higher, I would have TP'd the top right with like 2 turrets.
Exactly.
And start beaming the Mercy.
Exactly. I don't want you reaching as Symmetra. I think a lot of the times you're reaching. You remember this here with the Kiriko? It feels like there's a lot of like reaching, right? When really you can just kind of sit here, throw some right clicks, and then as soon as your HP gets high enough, just turret, teleport, bam, shoot the Hanzo, zone the Hanzo, take the duel and the Mercy. And from this position, you've got so many, even without your teleport, let's say your teleport gets destroyed, you're so safe out here and you're actually on top of them, which is what you want to be, Symmetra, right? You're not using your teleporter enough to kind of close the distance as safely as you possibly can. And I think that's something that needs to be improved upon. So what are some things that you're seeing so far? Let's make this as simple as we can, right? We want you to continue to be an instinctual player, but what are some micro adjustments that we can make in our play?
I think a lot of the time I'm being too greedy, and my turret usage is a little bit like...
Okay, let's stop. Can I stop you right there? What do you mean too greedy? Let's be specific. What needs to be practiced, right? Because good DPS players are always aggressive. We don't want you, right? So what does greedy mean?
Like, I'm kind of biting off more than I can chew. Like, I'll take the TP, but then I'll stay like for too long.
Right. Once you've already done your job.
Yeah.
Right. That's exactly right. Okay, what else are you seeing here?
Well, the turret usage is a bit like just terrible in general.
Right.
I feel like I should be propping them up for where I think they're gonna go.
Sure.
Rather than like just at my feet.
It feels very random, right? It feels like you know the techs, you know the defensive turrets, you know the turrets on the wall, you know the turret bombs. Yeah, you know exactly everything, the details, right? You probably know more than I do about that, but you're not putting enough effort into it, and so I think you're missing this value that's being missed. You know, whether it's dueling the Genji and not using turrets, whether it's spending like hours sending 3 turrets through a teleporter, but by the time you get the third turret through the teleporter, it's not doing anything anymore, right? Or then like last fight, just not using the turrets at all. Okay, what else? Remember your ult?
and yeah, my ults have just been a bit terrible, really.
Right. Okay, so we have at least a very basic framework of what we're going to look for, and the best news ever is that we have another 4.5 minutes of footage to keep looking at, right? So we know what to look for. Let's see if there's anything new, or let's see if it's more of the same, and we know how important it is. Now, this is just one game, but this is something that you can kind of keep an eye on in future games as well, right? And because maybe your ults are actually usually really, really good. You just weren't feeling it today, right? So you'll have a good idea.
Yeah.
So I want to see your turret setup here, actually, pre-fight here. Let's check this out. So, or did you already set them up? One there, one there, one there. Okay. Now, why do you spread your turrets out like that? This is a very important. I think this is a good thing, by the way, and I think people watching this might learn from this. Why do you do that?
So on the left side, I kind of have it as like a venom mine, like a widowmaker, so I know if like there's someone coming on the left.
Yes.
And the two ones on the right are just because normally people push on the right side.
Sure. So if anybody climbs over the wall, like the Genji we saw earlier, hits him, and at a really bad time too, because he's and now there's a turret, right? Same thing here, right? Now, my problem here is this. So we talked about the good things about this. What are the bad things? Now, you see their comp. You know where they're rotating to. Do you think this turret has as much value? Yes or no?
I mean, the Hanzo still has time to like take an off angle and flank.
Exactly. I was implying that you made a mistake, but I agree with you. I think that as long as this turret can actually reach here, and it can, this is a very important. So sometimes even if you know that they're all coming here, right? It's worth it to just have a turret do nothing, right? Because it doing nothing provides you information. You kind of see what I'm saying? If you put your turret away from here and put it up in here, maybe it'd be more useful. But also you would expose yourself to that Hanzo taking a flank or the Kiriko taking a flank. You see that? So sometimes it's okay to have a turret literally do nothing, because by it doing nothing, it's telling you something, which is more valuable than it actually doing something, right? It's a seatbelt kind of a thing. It's just in case you need to know, right? Okay. Love to see it. I really like your turret usage here. Really like it. Unfortunate. So, what was the last turret that you placed?
I think it was the one inside the point, maybe.
Right. So then what was the first turret that you placed? What's the first turret that's going away?
The first turret was on the left.
Right. So then, watch this. Oh, it's actually good. You're safe. Okay. I'm glad. I was concerned because I heard Hanzo behind you, and I thought that okay, you lost that turret. That's okay. We don't care about that turret anymore. We do care about this turret. I'm kind of scared though. Let's see. Yeah. Okay. We talked about game understanding here, a little bit of macro sense.
Yeah.
In theory, this play is okay, right? Because what's the intention of this teleporter?
It's just to try and expose like behind Ryan, make him turn, kind of.
Yeah, creating space. Creating space, right? It seemed okay. Bought attention, bought Genji, bought Ryan, bought you time. And then you go to aggressively control Hanzo. Maybe not the best duel in the history of the world. I think you could have used better cover. Probably would have preferred more right clicks rather than beam. But what's the problem? Let's go back here. All of this action is assuming that your team is taking this fight normally, right? But you're not. Your Zen's dead.
Yeah.
So what should you do at this point in time?
I mean, if it's like everyone in the voice channel is like, hey, probably back up and wait for the Zen.
I mean, you don't even need to know the voice channel. Just use your eyeballs. What do you see in your screen?
I mean, the Ryan's pushing aggressively, and
what do you not see? What do you not see in your screen?
My sig.
Your entire team is gone.
Yeah.
So then, what should you do here? I actually think you should have used teleporter. I agree with this, but I disagree with where you teleported to.
To the right,
yes,
like near the choke.
Yes, I would have teleported either to the right near the choke here, and then kind of baited them and run away and wasted time, played it safe. Or I would have even teleported up to top, thrown one or two turrets here, and just spammed from here. Given up space, and then for them to push me up here, who's going to push me up here? Genji, right? Or Kiriko.
Yeah.
They might, but that's kind of overextending for them, right? You can actually beat them, even though you're down your Zen, right? So what you do is you either bait them to overextend, or you play in a safe spot so that you give time for your team to take angles, maybe for your Zen to get back. You kind of see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think when you're down one, you need to not play defensively, but just take different angles. Play safe angles and see if the enemy team overextends. Instead, you go in, you use your only cooldown to go in, But this only works if your Zen is aggressively spamming and healing and supporting. Like, if this Ryan can't do this if your Zen's alive. He can't. If he does, he's going to die for it, right? But the reason he's doing it is because your Zen's dead. So I think this would have made a lot more sense here. So take this angle here, do what your cast is doing. In fact, you would have actually killed this guy and your cast would have lived, and then you can use your aggressive angles to spam. Do you see that?
Yeah.
Okay. So just when you're down one, don't play super defensive, give up the entire map, but try and bait. Think more of like you're playing bait. You're trying to bait them to overextend. You know? That's good. You take it again? I would even take it again, honestly. I think if it just go again, you know? They've backed off, right? Go again. I don't again, don't reach. You don't reach, you know? As soon as you've crossed this line here, like alarm bells need to go off in your brain. You see it? Like even without the Hanzo here, like this feels like, yeah, and there it is, right? Like it's too far for your hero. It's just too far. Like it's just go back up top, set up a turret here, peek out here, you know, and then maybe you can set up a teleporter in here and do some cheeky stuff, set up some turrets. You know, that would be more aggressive. But it just feels like a lot of your deaths come from just reaching a little too far. You're like, oh, I can get the kill, and it's like it's a little tunnel vision-y, right? You just lock into a target, and that target must die. Good. This should be advantageous for you. Yeah, this is good. How long can you stay? 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 Nice. Good. Don't reach. Good. Ah, unlucky. I think this is fine. My only concern here is actually maybe the wall placement. Because if you're thinking, you know, as soon as you use wall, especially now that they're down one, they're going to disengage, right? So where are they going to disengage to?
Yeah, to the left. I should have placed it more to the left.
Right. So if you just simply angled it here, you guys can not only chase to here, you could chase literally to the spawn, right? Which is what you want, right? So I do think the wall was probably pretty reasonable. You were up one, but obviously the fight wasn't just straight up one, so it's okay. Go back up top, go back up top. It's good for your hero. That's what we want to see right there, right? Throw the turret through, you're in with the right click. I mean, it's obviously you know that combo, but sometimes you miss it. Don't reach, good. I will say this as well. So when you go in for the TP, where should this TP have been optimally?
In the doorway,
right? In the doorway, or even closer to the doorway, because I feel bad that you had to, because you had to TP out because you got spooked, right? I would have preferred it to be a little bit here so that you can stay here longer, right? Good TP though, very nice. Okay. So turrets again, right? 1, 2. Where should the third be? Venomine, right?
Hopefully it's on the rock. Yeah, to the right.
Yeah. Venomine on the rock or here. Got me? One or the other.
Yeah.
Because you can see it, there it is, right? This Hans is thinking about it, you know? This guy's just rolling your team, I'm not gonna lie. Okay, I like this position, this is good. And then now, right, I was gonna say, I was waiting for the turret, right? You've committed this location, use the turret. Very good. Don't tunnel. Yeah, see, this is just a little bit of the reaching. Part of this is ult, but as well as like when you cross here, you don't know where the Genji is, you don't know where the Hans is. You're doing a great job here controlling this lane. I don't know. A lot of these deaths just come from the same greed concept, right? Where it's just you get a little bit greedy. It feels like a different type of death every time, but just something to kind of keep in mind. Hate that hero so much. The hitbox is ridiculous. Yep, this turret makes sense, right? Surely the Genji or Hanzo come after you, right? My only problem, though, well, you know, this is okay. I was gonna say my only problem is that you're moving away from the turret, but maybe they try and flank you. Yeah. Okay, this is good. TP. So like right here, you're doing a fine job, right? Unfortunately, it goes to blade you. TP right now. Where would you TP?
I'll probably just TP behind the right,
Yeah,
like
just
maybe
throw it. Just throw
statue
it. Literally,
thing.
just throw it right now. It doesn't matter where you TP. Just use it. Get a distraction. Get yourself away from that Genji for a split second, and then just make him turn around and then go right back again and beam him again. Or maybe you distract the Hanzo, right? Don't reach, because you can see it. My stomach is curling. Like, just don't reach. It's so risky. Don't reach. Okay, we're good. Don't reach. That's the theme of the day, I guess. Don't reach. Okay. I don't like that turret. I still want a turret in here, right? Just for information, you know, even like a turret on this wall. Retake hive. You're killing me. Really got to work on our ults. Like, just let them in, you know, waste as much time as you possibly can, let them in, then use them to, you know, like, so what I would do here, so like optimally, what would you do here? Don't think about the ultimate, think about just big picture, positioning, cooldowns, setup, turrets, everything. Fill me in on all the details. What would you do?
I mean, I'll probably want to TP back to high ground to my team. We're already down Zen.
Yep.
It's final fight.
Yes.
And I would probably set up turrets for the point.
Sure. So TP back to high ground, maybe throw a turret here, maybe throw a turret here, maybe one turret right here just in case Genji dives you, right? And then you wait as long as you possibly can until the enemy team has committed, and then you pop the ult, right? Okay, let's see how this goes. Yeah, just kind of a disaster, you know? So our setup, our positioning and our ults kind of are the same kind of thing, just in different ways. So what are you seeing needs to be worked on? Basically more of the same? Anything more important from what we've seen? Or is it just basically what we said at halftime?
Yeah, probably what we just said at halftime, honestly.
Okay. Avoiding greed when unnecessary. And being aware of reaching. Thinking about turrets in each situation. And as we said, you already have the knowledge with the turrets. It's just about applying your focus a little bit to it, your attention. More attention to scouting, to venom mine turrets, and so on, right? And then also the ults. Make sure enemy team is committed, or make sure the fight isn't kiteable or waitable, right? Because this is such a big map, you know. It's so easy for them to move around the wall. Some maps it's not going to be as much of an issue, right? Like you can use your ult, and even if it's a little early, it's fine. They're not going to be able to kite it. Okay. Do you want to look at your echo now?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, let's do it. Yeah, let's do it. Do you have any questions from all the Symmetra foolishness?
I mean, I feel like you covered it pretty well.
Okay.
But
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, you're doing a lot of good things with it. I just think there's a couple of things that we can tighten up just a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay, let's take a look here. Let's stream this. All right, and then let's change need to adjust my scene here. I think we're good. Okay, let's take a look. So, Echo, very different from Symmetra in terms of strengths, right? What are Echo's strengths? What are things that you're looking to accomplish with this hero?
I mean, you obviously want to utilize your beam with your team, and just she's good for like assassinations, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. Really, really high, good, big value in cycles, right? Like when you got your stickies in your beam, you're lethal, right? Now your mobility is a strength as well. Similarly, to Symmetra. One other thing I would add as well is if you think about like the range, is Echo a spam hero or like a dive brawl hero?
I mean, she's spam, but like she is like dive, right?
Yeah. She's a little bit of both, right? I don't know. So what that means is it's really dependent on the composition you're playing up against. Now, you look at the enemy composition, you can dive a Briggs in and murder them, right? Right? And you can also dive a Sojourn and murder them, right? Now, can you spam a Brig? Yes. Can you spam a Diva? Yes. Can you spam a Tracer? Yes. I wouldn't want to dive a Tracer, right? And and so that's where the nuance is, right? It's like you have to kind of think about like, can I dive that Briggs in, but stay away from that Tracer Diva, right? Or can I spam that Diva Brig but avoid that Zen's sightlines, or avoid that Sojourn when she's got rail sightlines, right? So that's going to be the challenge for you. Okay, let's take a look. And this is not ranked. This is a Overwatch World Cup UK trial.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think this is like a really, really important point of what we just talked about, because what you're doing now is completely and totally wrong. But there's a very specific reason why that is. You're trying to dive a Diva within spam range of the Zenyatta and Sojourn. Do you see the issue with that?
Yeah.
It's the worst of both worlds. So we want to spam the Diva outside of the spam range of the enemy backline. And you know where that is, don't you? Where should you go?
I feel like I should be on the right side.
Correct. Just fly top right. Fly top right even, right? Just fly right there. Because what is that Diva going to do? They're going to try and dive you, but that's not going to work, right? You have Zen, you have Mercy, you have Kiriko, your Diva's there with you. So just take this angle here, and then once you take this angle... Can you see my mouse, by the way? Can you see that?
No, I can't. Sorry.
Rip. Okay, unfortunate. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, perfect. So you take this angle up here, and then what do?
I mean, I just rain fire on like the Zen Brig.
Sure. Right, sure. Or you just spam Diva, right?
Yeah.
And then what does the Diva have to do?
Diva has to run away.
She has to run away. And then now that she's run away, now you're thinking, okay, is there another angle to spam with? Or once you're here, you have a much easier time actually diving the backline if you wanted to at some point in time, right? Because you're closer, but you're closer in a sneaky way. So we want to avoid getting too close to the Diva, but this is just totally wrong. She's out, but that's more of your Diva doing a good job rather than you. Nice. That sucks. Too many stickies in the Matrix. I mean, it's rough. It's 3 seconds. It's misery. I hate it. It's so annoying, but, you know, it is what it is. Also, nice job on the shots in the Tracer. This is a very micro thing, but so many echoes get lazy with it, right? But think about how much damage have you put into Diva so far, right? And nothing's happened, right? But you look at Tracer for 1 second, go bam, 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 and look at her HP. You see that?
Yeah.
You're not exactly like the best Tracer assassin in the history of the game, but sometimes, man, shooting DPS or supports is like, even though it's hard as Echo, like 1 shot and 2 shots, and that's half of her HP right there. And you didn't even hit a headshot, so that was good.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Now you wish you had stickies. You know? There it is. There it is. Nicely done. Nicely done.
Restoring health systems.
Okay. Gotta watch Matrix. Gotta set up a little faster. Okay, waiting for Mercy. Nice shot.
Engaging thrusters. Let's kick this off.
Okay, now we're back in. So, use your brain for a second.
Okay.
For a second, I say. Where you're gonna dive this, right? Because you've managed to rotate and close the distance a little bit, right? So where should you position yourself as Echo during this dive?
Maybe on the right side,
right
above the roof.
Right, you could. Think of it like obviously, you know, when you're playing Symmetra, remember the first thing we asked you on first point, which was like, where would you TP when you're attacking? And you TP to high ground. And I was like, why did you TP to high ground? And you explain, you know, this is the logic behind it. Okay, so the roof of the right side. Let's say you want to shift in. You want to go in, dive. Where would you do that? If I removed right side as an option.
Where would I shift in from?
So you're here.
I mean,
how do you engage?
Yeah. Probably is just from the left side. I don't know.
Sure. What if you shifted in up to this roof up here when your Diva went in, right? When you obviously with your Diva Tracer, right? Pay very close attention to when they go in or listen.
Yeah.
But I think if you were to go in, that is probably your best bet. So like here isn't bad, but I don't want you here. I want you just a little off to the left, right? And that's not, it's not just about you as well, it's also about your Mercy as well. You want to give yourself good LOS, and you can see how this is fine, but there's literally no reason why you wouldn't just be a little bit closer to the left. Now, you do have the cover of the little fountain here, which is nice, but okay. Just something to... I mean, that's what we're talking about, right? You know, just a little more cover. And also, the other problem with this as well is, like, what can you see from this position? What's your vision like? Besides my 360p stream, right? What's your... you can't see much, can you? You're smack dab in the middle of it, everything, right? We want to be... I mean, really, every DPS hero wants to be on the outside looking in. Even Reapers. Reapers want to be on the outside looking in, right? But from a close range. So for you, this is just a little bit of a disaster. Okay. And that kills your Mercy as well. So the hard commit wasn't the problem. It's where you hard committed from. Does that make sense? Nice. Spam, 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 spam. Definitely not worth using stickies there. No RNG dice rolls. Same thing with the Diva Matrix, right? Don't just use it because you're like, oh, maybe they'll drop Matrix. Don't have guarantee. Because right here, there's your sticky opportunity here. I mean, you get the kill. You didn't need the stickies. But you just throw stickies there. Guarantee forces recall. Now, you're going to dive, right? So where are you going to dive to?
Probably the top left high ground.
Yeah. Fly to like where your diva is and start raining fire, right? Yes. That was good. You go back and shoot Doom. He's out of position. You can stick him. Nice. Oh, almost. Very nice. Okay, let's keep going. No Zen, no Sojourn. Even with Zen at this range, honestly, you can just spam. It's fine. It's not like he, unless he's, you know, me on Zenyatta. I might right click you at this range, but nobody else will. I'm not that good at Zen anymore. I wish I was. So this is not great, isn't it? Yeah. That being said, is there anything you could do about it?
I mean, I could be positioned on the right side, maybe.
Maybe a little bit better, but I feel like this was like, oh, I guess we're going in. I have to help, right? Sometimes you're not going to have time, and you're going to be like, crap. It's okay. That's all right. This one is all right. It's not your fault. Your team just goes, and you're like, oh, shoot, I guess we're going. So you just need to get here. You know what I'm saying? You just need to get here. But as soon as you can, try to find cover, right? And that's what you do. This is fine. Okay. Just keep watching. There you go. Look at you. This is good. Alright. Oh, this is going to be fat. Okay. I know who you're going to copy. Well, actually, I don't know who you're going to copy. But how do you use copy? Two ways. This is like plat stuff, right? You should know this.
Yeah.
How do you use copy?
Well, I mean, you probably want to use copy as like, isn't it? Like escape, like when you're low HP or...
Right. Or what's the other way to use it?
I don't know, just to try and turn the fight.
Sure. I like sometimes there's situations where it's you have somebody that you want to copy in mind and you set up for the best position for that hero, right? So for example, like let's say they weren't on Diva, right? Let's say they were on like Rhine or whatever, and they had an Ana. I would set up here, and honestly, as fast as I could, I might even not even play Echo. I might just copy Ana as fast as I could. Because can you imagine Ana with cooldowns from this position and building a nano in like 2 seconds? You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't even use it as a defensive cooldown. I think just straight up with a free nano, free nade from this position, you're going to do more than you would as Echo. So just use it, right? Sometimes you see that with like a soldier with visor, right? Or if you have a diva, you could copy diva from this position and just immediately farm your bomb and just launch it. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, most of the time it's used as a defensive cooldown. Sometimes it can be used, but set up ahead of time, right? Now you look at their comp. Who do you think you're going to try and copy?
Sorry?
Who do you think you're going to copy on their comp?
I mean, I can tell you who I copied here.
Well, who do you think you
know?
Okay.
Well, I copied Diva.
Okay. Yeah, that's always good.
It's just now the Echo nerf with the ult, it's a lot harder to get value with tanks.
So
maybe I could have like copied the Sojourn.
Yeah. I like Tracer as well. I think Tracer's really quite good. Because anything that has like some form of survivability that prevents you from getting focused down is good. So let's see. No, just wait. I promise. Like it's always like a quarter of a second longer than you think it is, right? But like, oh my days, the sticky would be so big here. Good use of cover here. Careful, careful, careful. Yeah, so this is just a little bit of trolling, right? Now, I don't mind if this is something that you wanted to do on purpose, copy early, but was this just, oh shoot, I have to copy?
I can't remember, honestly.
Okay. So if it was, I'm irritated. If not, I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
Lack of cover usage, if that was the case, you know, and your teammate clearly disengaged, just shift out, right? That being said, I think this is going to work out. Maybe not. Disaster. Wow. Oh dear. Nice, stickies. Wait, what? Did they hit her shield? I don't think they did. What? What? Did you see that?
Yeah, we just got enough break, honestly.
They stickied on her body, and then they just disappeared. They didn't even go off. They just disappeared. Is this a replay code bug?
I don't think so.
Like, you see that. Look at all these stickies. 1, 2, 3, 4. They hit on... You can see the glowing orbs on her body. Look at her HP up here. They don't even
Maybe
detonate.
she just gets...
They don't,
I don't know.
They don't even detonate. It must be a visual bug, or you're unlucky. Because this brig is dead. This brig is dead. You landed 4 or 5 stickies on her. Yeah. She's dead. They didn't even detonate on her shield. They just disappeared.
It might just be a visual bug. I don't know.
I don't know. But that's bizarre. Good use of stickies though. I guess the hero's so broken, it just breaks the laws of Overwatch, I guess. Alright, let's watch one more fight here.
Repositioning.
Nice. I mean, you don't have to necessarily run away from that. I know D.Va isn't exactly amazing, but it's like you could just sit there and spam her out, you know, force a lot of matrix and then walk forward. If she drops to cover or whatever, yeah, it's kind of annoying, but it's another situation where theoretically you could take the angle and just spam her out. I like this, right? We're setting up to dive on this, right? Here it comes. Yeah. Careful, 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 careful. I honestly don't know what's killing your D.Va. I swear your D.Va's just dying to air. Nice. Very well done. I mean, look at the damage, right? When you can avoid Sojourns in LOS, it's easy peasy. Careful. Careful, careful. Again here, right? Just spam. She backs off. She matrix. Oh, we're gonna go in hard now. Oh! Yep. This is, by the way, been very nice positioning from you. And the sticky usage has been pretty good as well. They've been unfortunately dying on Brig Shield a lot, but I'm okay with that. I think you should be very proud of your positioning this fight so far. It's been excellent. You've been doing a great job playing around enemy sightlines. This as well is really good. Great. Honestly, mechanical failure there. That target, you almost died because you just missed the beam a little bit. But this is, again, another good decision from you. Probably needed to settle with those stickies a little bit. Those stickies really needed to land, and you just kind of rushed them. I would also, yeah, I was going to say, put some attention on this Tracer. I mean, that's why you put attention on Tracer, right? All that attention on Brig, and you put attention on Tracer for half a second without her recall, and she's dead. Don't. Yes! I love it! I was like, please don't throw stickies into Matrix. I mean, you dead lifted this fight. You really did. You hard carried this entire fight, starting with like 90, 60 seconds ago. This was phenomenal. What was done really well this past fight from you? You tell me.
I mean, maybe positioning.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Positioning was really good. Yep. What else?
I felt like my the character selection of which I went on is pretty good.
Yeah, target selection. Actually, let's go back a little bit to your positioning. What made your positioning good? Because it was not something that we've been seeing enough with enough consistency. What was the difference between this fight's positioning and a lot of the previous fights' positioning?
Honestly, I couldn't tell you.
Okay. Do you see it?
Maybe I'm just playing with my team.
Well, not just with your team necessarily.
Using cover or
Using
just not
cover.
line of sight of like the soldier and stuff.
Yeah. You were being very methodical with choosing when and where the enemy's long snipers and Sojourn could see you. The only times they could see you were when you're either peeking for a quick sticky bomb or when you were diving them. You see?
Yeah.
The only time you were on peeking a Sojourner's in is when you were threatening a dive. You didn't just stand in front of them and spam. No, you were on them. And that's very important because if you don't do that, that's how you die, right? Because these heroes will kill you if you just peek them without diving. So I think you did a really remarkably good job of using cover. You did a really remarkably good job of utilizing playing to your hero's range, spamming Diva, spamming Tracer, but diving Sojourn and diving Zen. Do you see that?
Yeah.
That's the big difference for you with your positioning. What other things have you seen from your Echo that you think you need to improve a little bit?
I think it's just I feel like I'm inconsistent on it though. That's the only thing.
Sure.
I have like a pretty good game and then some games I just like fade.
Yeah. Why do you think that is?
I mean, I feel like it's a big part of it is like me peeking like hit scan. Like they didn't really have like a hit scan like that game kind of. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like a big part of it is like I'm not too like well rehearsed around playing hit scan, like playing around hit scans when I'm playing like aerial heroes.
Well, how do you
That's
play
kind of
versus
just what I
hit skin?
with.
Well, maybe you don't have the practice yet, but you should have the knowledge.
Yeah.
How do you play around hit skin? What did you do?
I mean,
here?
you just play around covering. You just like find the right time to jump on them.
Yes, it's about like being able to close the distance at good times so that you can assassinate quickly, right? And then playing around cover because you can spam out a hit scan, but you have to be really respectful of the fact that they have more 2-tap potential than you do, right?
Yeah,
that's why cover mapped. It's not going to stop you from getting 1-tapped, but it will prevent you from getting 2-tapped. So I think good cover usage, play to your sightlines better, like I said, and then I think we're good to go. The only other thing I would say is stickies. Every time you use, everybody knows that you put thought into beam. I don't think anybody just is thoughtless with their beam, right?
Yeah.
But with your stickies, a few times, right? A few times where you underestimated defense matrix or you just didn't aim it as well as you know that you could, and that's going to hurt you, right? So just make sure that you're putting a little bit of extra effort into that. Outside of that, if you have the knowledge with positioning versus hit scan and you're still struggling, you just need to play her more. You just need more practice, you know? And obviously that's a tough thing for you with the amount of time that you have to train, but maybe that's why Symmetra Echo needs to be your go-to instead of Symmetra May. Depends on what you want to get out of it, right? Do you want to how serious are you about improving your Echo versus how serious are you about improving your May? I don't know. Depends on what you want, depends on what your team wants, which hopefully should be answered soon, right? and yeah. Okay. Any questions?
No, it seems all good to me. Very informative.
Okay, glad to hear it. If you do have any questions, shoot me a message at any time.